So this video took a long time for me to come to terms with. Over the last 2.5 months, I have been running my own full-service media production company. And I've been using nothing but Sony cameras. But after some workflow changes, some company decisions, not my company, but Sony's, I have decided to leave the Sony ecosystem. Let's talk about it. In case you guys didn't know, my name is Jake Bensulock, and I run my own full-service media company in the Southeast. My media company is called Jake Ryan Media Company, and I'm leaving the Sony ecosystem. Now first, let's talk about some personal reasons why I am choosing to leave the Sony ecosystem. Over the last 2.5 months, my workflow has changed. What I thought was going to be only a videography company has turned a lot to photography, to fund my company, to get gigs and get on sets. Now the future goal is to still become a documentary filmmaker and production company, but for right now I'm having a lot of fun taking photos, and you know, it pays the bills. Being a one-camera body media production company, taking photos on the FX30 is just not cutting. Now these photos have turned out great, but the process of using the FX30 to take photos is clunky. It's not enjoyable, and I need to enjoy doing what I'm doing on set because I think you could feel that through my photography. Just last week I was on set taking photos for a company in New Jersey, and although the photos came out really well, it was not a fun process. I was using cinema glass because I didn't have any photography lenses on me. So focusing was rough. The whole process of switching modes when I wanted to get a video versus get a photo was not a joy. And it's led me to want to leave Sony. The next thing is, what comes with working for Jake Ryan Media Company is a lot of event coverage. And events don't have ideal lighting like this right here. Now this is being filmed on my Sony FX30, but this lighting is perfect. And I'm able to use this FX30 in this way flawlessly. But when I'm at an event or filming at a business where I'm not bringing my own lights because maybe the budget doesn't call for it, the FX30 really doesn't cut it. The native ISO at 2500 is just not bright enough. Even with super fast cinema primes like I'm using right now, this is a T1.5, I really struggle in low light situations. I'll put up some examples from that last shoot that I did where I was inside of a salt spa taking videos, and the video just fell apart. It's not only noisy, but you can't see anything. And when I try to push it, it's even more noisy. Now this could be user error, but I really don't think it is. I'm shooting at 2500 ISO. I'm using these super fast prime lenses, and the back of the camera is telling me I'm well exposed, and it simply is not. I have found more luck overexposing to get clean images, and I love doing that. But it's simply impossible on the FX30 to overexpose in that low of light. What am I looking for in my next camera? Full frame, higher dual native ISO, and a more hybrid workflow. And that kind of hurts to say because I always want to think of myself as video first. But there are hybrid cameras that are video first. And we'll talk about that later on. Next, let's talk about the decisions Sony's been making that has really led me to wanting to leave. I'm sure if you have clicked on this video, you have kept up to date with all of Sony's camera releases and Sony's decisions as a camera manufacturer. Recently, they released the Sony FX2. Although there's a lot of amazing videos praising the Sony FX2, and honestly, what I'm describing to you, that camera actually fits the description of what I'm looking for. There's major issues with that release. Number one, it's a recycled sensor. Now this is something that camera brands will do, but this release was hyped up and a lot of people were really expecting something innovative, especially because other camera companies are catching up. Canon's C80 is now a full-frame cinema camera that is in a similar body style. I say that in quotations because it's not really, but it's a small enough cinema camera to rival the Sony FX3. Panasonic is dropping the S1 II, which is the FX3, but honestly probably better at this point. And then you have Nikon, who is kind of hitting strides in the video department. And for Sony just to repurpose the A7 IV, I don't know, feels lazy. Then there's other people in this space who actually consult with Sony over the releases of their cameras, and they're claiming that Sony just didn't listen. None of the things that they released with the FX2 is what the people asked for. And that's concerning as a consumer. I want to know that the camera ecosystem that I am all in on is innovating and listening to their customers and doing the things that people want and not doing the things that nobody cares about. And I just don't trust Sony in that way that I used to. Now let's talk about the pricing. Now Sony is a really big company, and they can charge whatever they want because they have the reputation of making high quality cameras. And they do. I mean, I love my FX30, and I wish I didn't have to get rid of it. But there's just better options for me right now. The Sony FX30 has gone up $300 in the last 6 months. The FX3, $400. Now these prices are outrageous to me, especially when you consider the competition that I mentioned before. What I'm trying to say is Sony is outrageously expensive, and if you want Sony glass, you have to invest so much more money into that as well. Well, those are the reasons why I am leaving Sony. This is not trying to persuade any of you guys to leave Sony, because I do still love a Sony camera. It's just not right for me. I did tell you guys, though, that I was going to hint what my new camera is going to be at the end of the video. So I'll tell you these 3 things. It's full frame. It's video first, but it is a hybrid camera. Please drop your guesses down below. What camera am I getting? You will find out next week, so tune in. Thank you guys so much for the continuous support on this YouTube channel. If you are based in the Southeast, or actually anywhere, because I love to travel to do this work and everything, please go check out my website down below. And yeah, I will be sure to answer every comment below, so drop your guesses. I'll see you guys next week.